What's good, my me? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video of the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTy. I already know what time it is. Now let's go. Now guys, today's topic is going to be what happened to the UK rapper Ramz. And we're going to break this down in way more detail. But already know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe. But today, if time drop a banger like this one, and hit that note, because you ain't an idiot, so you can be the first to know when one of these videos comes out. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, if you don't know who Ramz is, I'll give you a brief summary. Ramz is a UK artist from London. He really made a name for himself in the Afro swing era of music as he rose to prominence in 2018 with his hit single, Barking. That summer, everyone was singing. I might link my ting from barking, 7 a.m. in the morning. I must say that I did have the pleasure of actually going to Barking for reasons that may or may not be related to the reasons that this song describes. You get it? Cause I don't. And the song kind of gassed up Barking a bit too much. I was expecting a bit more from Barking. I was highly disappointed. And I will say this song was alright. It was good when it first came out, but as with anything, once people started to rinse it to the point of no return, you're kind of just over it very quickly. Despite this, the song did phenomenally well. It charted at number 2 on the UK singles chart. It currently has 84 million views on YouTube, and the song has 439 million streams on Spotify, making it currently the highest streamed UK rap song of all time. This is in part due to it going viral on TikTok. And just like that, Ramz was in the game. He was the new kid on the block, famous for having a smile like the Grinch and jumping into his music videos like he was auditioning for High School Musical 4.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's go back to my nigga on the floor.
Ramz began to capitalize on his newfound buzz with his second single, Power.
I got the power. I got the power.
Please stop, please.
And it was at this point where people really started to compare him to Notes. They said in this song he was basically jacking Notes' whole flow.
He copied my whole fucking flow. Word for word, bar for bar.
Which was understandable. I mean, the song was pretty garbage for the most part. And just when it looked like people thought the Ramz hype was done, he popped back up again with another hit, Family Tree, in April 2018.
That's my family tree. That's my family tree.
And again, I must say, I do like this song. I'm sorry. It's catchy. It's got a nice hook. Ramz had a couple tunes, I won't even lie to you. Family Tree also did pretty well, charting at 35 on the UK singles chart and currently sits at 41 million views on YouTube. So definitely nothing to snooze at. Now, Ramz was on an amazing high at this point with 2 hit singles under his belt, but it all took a turn for the worst when he hit the stage for the Capital Summertime Ball on the 9th of June 2018, where he came on stage to perform Barking, and it sounded like, well, like this.
I'm icy. I've got a tick on my feet, that's lively, and that's pricey. You see them guys over there? I got a poop.
What the? Now, I have to be very honest. This was an absolutely abysmal performance from Ramz. As you can see, he clearly wasn't in time with the backing track, to be real. It honestly seemed like he was in another universe. But according to Ramz, this was due to the in-ear packs that he had, which were delaying the track on his end, which he didn't know about by a couple seconds. Which I guess is a fair excuse. However, I'm still not convinced as to how that stopped him from actually singing the song, because from the video, it looks like he was just talking the song instead of actually singing it, which of course led some people to call Ramz a fraud and saying that he can't sing live, etc, etc. And I believe this was the main catalyst for the hate train against Ramz, which we're going to touch on again later in this video, but this is essentially what kicked it off. To be fair, people were calling him corny before this with the High School Musical intros, as I mentioned before and whatnot, but back then I think it was all in good jest from what I saw. There was no one who outright hated him, but I think that definitely changed after this video came out because people were basically preying on his downfall after this. His next big single, Hold You Down, which released on February 2019, was honestly absolute dumpster juice. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying.
No disrespect, but I just wasn't rating that one. Video concept was good, I guess, but I just wasn't rating the tune itself. And it looks like I wasn't in the minority, as the song charted at 95 on the UK singles chart and has 3.9 million views on YouTube, which Good numbers, I'm not gonna lie, but not as great as what came before, obviously. So it looked like Ramz's popularity was starting to go on a decline. He was starting to receive a lot of hate online. I mean, in 2018, 2019, Ramz was pretty much the butt of every joke. Just hating on him for absolutely no reason. I just remember seeing loads of people just making Ramz jokes left, right, and center. Ramz was basically what Ross is in America right now. And at the time, a lot of these jokes I would assume were supposed to be taken in jest, and we all assumed that they were until July 2019, when Ramz drove to the park where he shot family tree and posted to his Instagram a picture of a man hanging from a tree with the caption, "Suicide." A lot of various influential figures in the UK rap game like Wiley and Dappy were reaching out to support him because it seemed that Ramz had been suffering from a serious case of depression, which he's actually opened up about in multiple interviews. And he actually said in an interview with Wunmi Bello that this was due to the hate that he was seeing on Twitter. Ramz claimed that his name would come up all the time on Twitter and he wouldn't even be doing anything. People would just find ways to speak about him in a negative way. Whether it was due to his hairline or him having bad trainers or him being fat or anything of that nature. He even said that he would post a picture on Instagram and it would just be a bunch of people in the comments just hating on him. And he claimed that this hatred would also translate into real life. Like people would see him on the street and they just point at him and laugh at him, and it all just got too much for him. And then he just thought to himself, well, I can't do this no more. I no longer feel the need to live because who's gonna care? Thankfully, he was found by his family and friends and brought to the hospital and given some help. He's attended therapy now and he's thankfully been brought back onto the right path. Ramz also went on to mention that he's actually received a lot of support from UK rappers and artists when this situation was happening, but he did say that a lot of the people that were messaging him to check up on him when he posted that picture were the same people who Ramz was messaging, asking if they wanted to go studio, asking if they wanted to work on a song with him, and these people were leaving him on red. Or in the words of my boy Dave,
Left on red, then blue like Barca.
which, you know, kind of shows the fakeness of the UK music industry to some degree, because he was kind of thinking raw, so it took me nearly offing myself for you lot to actually care and actually respond to my messages. Like, that's a bit crazy. Fast forward to November 2019 and Ramz has dropped the single Think Twice about suicide, which basically does what it says on the tin, for loss of a better term. It was obviously to raise awareness about suicide. And they gave a brief description of what led Ramz down that path and down those thoughts. And I thought it was a very commendable step forward for the rapper. In February 2020, Ramz dropped his, I guess, post-recovery comeback song. I don't really know how to describe it. Belong to the Streets.
I told her, don't worry, just keep it. You know you belong to the street. You belong to them.
Which, I won't lie, is a certified hood classic.
I can tell you're a very good liar.
Beat goes hard, and I will say it's good to see Ramz actually having a smile on his face again. Then fast forward to 2022, and Ramz has pretty much fallen off, I'll be very honest with you. He dropped a project in 2022 called I Miss You Ramone, which actually had a lot of melodic tracks on it, but also had some rapping tracks on it as well. So he's kind of stuck to the similar style of music that he was creating in his prime, but he's also experimenting with new sounds as well. Of course, you know, the numbers that he's doing now is peanuts in comparison to what he was doing when he was in his prime, essentially. But, you know, it's partly due to his long hiatus from music, maybe a bit of the pandemic rolled in there as well, mixed in with the fact that the UK music scene has moved beyond melodic rap / Afro swing as the main genre and has now transformed into UK drill being the main genre. UK drill's taken over the streets, it's taken over the charts, it's everywhere. It just seems that when you combine all of those elements together, people like Ramz, they no longer have a place in the UK music scene like they once did. I mean, when you really take a deep dive and you really look at it, can Ramz music really fit in with the likes of Central C, with Heady One, Clavish, K-Trap?
I think not.
I don't see that happening personally. And like I mentioned in my Jay Silver video, maybe if Ramz never went through that depression phase and he kept dropping tunes, he would have been, what, 5 years in the game by now. So it would have given him plenty of time to like cement himself in the UK scene and cement his legacy, cement his style of music to where he maybe could have been on a J Hus or DBE thing, where it don't really matter what the main genre in the UK is right now, people are still going to check for your music because you've built up that fan base. You've shown time and time again that you can deliver solid projects, you can deliver great hits, so people are going to back you no matter what. But sadly, Ramz is just not one of those artists who's been able to do that yet. At the same time, Ramz, just like every other artist, is only one hit song away from changing it all. So who knows? Maybe Ramz will come out with a UK drill hit that goes top 10 or top 20 and he changes the conversation around his name. But does it look like that's happening anytime soon?
You're taking the piss. Please leave.
But in the words of anyone,
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
but let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think about what happened to Ramz? Are you excited to hear new music from Ramz? Have you checked out the music he's been dropping post his hiatus from music? You let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the road to 2,000 subs. You already know what time it is. You can follow my personal IG at the only LiTTyENT. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there. 'Cause what else you do with your life? Absolutely nothing, mate. Stay black, and if you're not black, stay whatever race you are. I bet. Peace.